professional growth works. A practitioner is assigned a facilitator, either a trained peer or an administrator, based on their preference and on availability, who will work with them throughout the year. Teachers will place themselves on rubrics in a formative process by self-identifying where they are on the 9 essential elements. These essential elements are those from the California Standards for the Teaching Profession that have shown the biggest impact on student learning and capture the depth and breadth of the teaching profession. Note: nurses, counselors, librarians, and others will be developing rubrics that are unique to their own professional standards in the 2016-17 school year. After this self-assessment, the practitioner chooses a specific area to focus on. This can be an essential element or a goal that is in alignment with a district or site strategic plan or site agreements. The process will include 2 to 3 observations and 2 to 3 reflective conversations. All observations are preceded by a brief pre-conference so the facilitator understands what the focus is for the practitioner during the observation. Each observation is followed by a post-conference debrief. During the post-conference debrief, the practitioner and the facilitator utilize the learning-focused conversation process to look at evidence of practice gathered during the observation and to determine next steps. A videotaped lesson can also be substituted for one observation. Reflective conversations are an opportunity for a practitioner and a facilitator to review evidence of practice that is not generated by a classroom observation. The practitioner selects the pieces of evidence used in the reflective conversations. Possible types of evidence may include, but are not limited to, student work, student assessments, lesson plans, professional journals or reflections, and more. The facilitator's role is to ask thoughtful questions to support a practitioner's capacity to reflect upon data, generate ideas and options, and increase personal and professional awareness and skills. The facilitator and practitioner will also meet for an end-of-the-year reflection. Training is a critical component for both facilitators and practitioners. Facilitators will have 4 days of training to not only understand the various components and processes in the system of professional growth, but also allow them time to practice the skills embedded in the learning-focused conversations. Practitioners that will be in their evaluation year will have 2 days of training to understand the various components in the system of professional growth, their role in the process, and to have time for them to begin their self-assessment and reflection for the year ahead. In accordance with Education Code, temporary and probationary practitioners will go through the SPG process every year. Permanent practitioners with 3 to 9 years of experience will go through the SPG process every other year. Permanent practitioners with 10 or more years of experience with the district will go through the SPG process every 3rd year. During this professional practice process, if a question arises regarding a practitioner's ability to meet standards, the practitioner may enter the advisory process. The evidence of performance will be submitted to the advisory team for review. The advisory team will recommend the practitioner to advisory if the evidence indicates the person might be struggling to meet standards. Upon entering advisory, the practitioner is assigned an advisor. This is typically a consulting teacher who acts as a neutral third party to assess whether the facilitator's concerns are valid and to assist the practitioner around areas of concern, working to develop a support plan to meet standards. A site administrator can also submit evidence to the advisory team if he or she has collected evidence to support concerns around a practitioner that a peer facilitator has not addressed. The goal of the advisory process is to provide the support needed to allow the practitioner to return to the regular professional practice cycle. Only after it is determined that someone is not meeting standards, through the advisory process, will the practitioner enter the Peer Assistance and Review, or PAR, system.